Now, not only does Senator Sanders talk the talk on supporting workers, but he also walks the walk. This morning, members of the Communication Workers of America and the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers went on strike in 9 eastern states, plus to Washington, D.C., because they have failed to reach a contract agreement with the company Verizon. Now, this morning, while campaigning in the state, Bernie Sanders joined this picket line in Brooklyn and had this to say.
Brothers and sisters, thank you for your courage in standing up for justice against corporate greed. Verizon is one of the largest, most profitable corporations in this country, but they refuse to sit down and negotiate a fair contract. They want to take away the health benefits that you have earned. They want to outsource decent paying jobs. They want to give their CEO $20 million a year in compensation. They want to avoid paying federal income taxes. In other words, this is just another major American corporation trying to destroy the lives of working Americans.
All right, so there you go. Bernie Sanders speaking to Verizon strikers. That's kind of awesome. Now, the union says that they're striking because Verizon wants to freeze their pensions, make laying off people easier, and rely on more contract workers. Well, these contract workers will make less, so they can pay them less. Okay, well, Verizon, for their part, says that there are healthcare issues that need to be addressed for both retirees and workers as medical costs have grown. So, what does that mean? Well, they want to cut medical care. Now, of course. No, there are healthcare issues, meaning we have an issue with paying for healthcare. We would like to pay less for your healthcare because we don't give a fuck. We want a bigger bottom line. So that's pretty much what it is. Now, what do I base that on? Well, I worked for a company that was a non-union shop, where the boss at one point literally told us, when we were all gathered in the break room for a company meeting, right, that he said that your kids are costing us too much money. So what we need to do is we need to lower your costs, cut your insurance by either changing to a cheaper company or have you pay more of the premiums. Now, wait a minute. That sucks. Now, I realize I'm no parent, right? But you're blaming someone's children for your health insurance costs rising. That's kind of a dick move. Why do your kids have to keep getting sick and using this health insurance? God damn it, that's making my costs go up. You make your kids stop being sick right now, or else you're going to have to pay for it. Dude, you're an asshole. And I worked for this guy. And look, being a non-union shop, there was nothing we could do. Our insurance ended up going up. And by the way, this was all before Obamacare. So can't really blame it on that. Health insurance costs before Obamacare were rising. They're still rising now, but they're actually rising at a slower rate. So if anything, the healthcare law has done a lot to prevent it from exploding the cost. But it still goes up. That's why we need a single payer system. But anyway, so no, there is a reason that I'm not in favor of the company here, and that I'm in favor of the unions. I've been on the side of the workers. I was a worker, and I've been one of the workers that the CEOs shit on. I've been there. I know how it feels. So I understand. Look, there's a lot of pundits out there that have been, and commentators that they've done this their entire lives, working on radio or television or even online. I've not. I've been working in the factories, in the trenches. This particular place was plastic injection molding. I've worked at a bumper plant. I've been in those jobs. I've worked as a low skill and I hate saying that, low-skill worker in one of those low-skill jobs. Those jobs that Americans used to be able to make a living on. I remember at one point making 13 bucks an hour. I'd murder for that right now. But seriously, that's where I've been. So I understand when I'm talking about this stuff, when I'm talking about unions, I know what I'm talking about. I've worked at a non-union shop, I've worked at a union shop, and the difference is night and day. It's just different. It's so much better for the worker at a union shop. But anyway, so that's what I'm talking about here. So look, I'm not buying the company line that Verizon is not getting a fair deal. If you can hand out a bonus to your CEO and pay him $20 million a year, well, that means you're profitable enough to make sure that your retiring workers get a fair pension and some decent health care. So maybe you're only able to pocket $10 million in that year. So sad for you. Sad day. Boo fucking who. I guess you'll have to save up for an extra year to get that giant ass fucking yacht that you can park your other yacht in. Anyway, enough about that. Now the CWA, the main union strike in here where Bernie was speaking, well, they endorsed Hillary Clinton. Now, I'm assuming that she'll be right there behind Bernie giving a speech and at the picket line, right? Right? Okay, well, look, maybe I'm being too hard on her, right? To be fair, Hillary Clinton issued a statement earlier saying Verizon should come back to the bargaining table with a fair offer for their workers. Well, on that, we absolutely agree. But if anybody should be considered the person who puts their money where their mouth is and their boots on the ground for workers' rights, it's Senator Bernie Sanders.